Welcome to my channel, soulmate. So let us recreate this beautiful style together with a little alteration. So the first thing to do, I'm going to cut on pattern paper before transferring to the fabric. So you go ahead to put your back measurement like so. After doing that, you're going to extend the length like this. Then you come down by 1 inch. Then you measure 3 inches over the neckline, and you're going to connect it together as the shoulder slope. Go down by 3 inches for the neck depth of the front. This is the front bodies we are cutting first. Then the next thing is to determine your chest line, which is your actual bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. So extend the length of your chest line like so. And the next thing to do is to impute your breast point measurement and your under bust measurements. After doing that, you are going to connect the line for your breast points like so, and you connect the line for your under bust and label, please. I'm so sorry you cannot see it very well. I did not know it would turn out like this. I would have used a marker pen. So now I'm trying to impute my waist measurement. You go ahead and put your waist measurements, shoulder to waist measurements. After getting that, you proceed to rule a straight line like so, and you label it as well. Then you go ahead to put your bust span, that is your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. In my case, I used 3.5 inches. Then you have to extend the line like so. Go to your shoulder like that, divide it by 2, and connect the line into your bust points. After doing that, put 1 inch on both sides of your bust span measurements to represent your darts. Do the same thing on your under bust and your waist line, and you connect the straight line together like so. Do not forget to extend. We have a reason for doing so. And you are going to create a very nice curve from your under bust into your bust points, just the way I did. Do it for the other side too. Take your time to get a very nice curve. So after doing that, the next thing I want to do is to input my bust measurement divided by 4 on my bust points. And I'll go ahead and input my waist measurements. You go ahead and put your 2 inches allowance of that and your seam allowance, and you connect it together like so. This is so you'll be able to put your bust darts. In my case, I use 1.5 inches as my darts, which means the difference between my front and my back is going to be 1.5 inches. So that is me marking the area I am going to cut. So guys, the next thing you do is to determine how low you want your neck depth to be. In my case, I use 7.5 inches. And on that point, you are going to take your chest line dart. So on one side, on the front side, I use 1 inch, while on the center front, I use 1/2 inch. So I'm looking for a perfect way of getting my darts. So I've done that for the center front. For the side front, you would proceed to curve your ruler like so. I was having difficulty doing that, so I was able to manage eventually. Just see how beautiful the curve is. Now we have our darts in place on our neck depth. So on your cleavage area, it will not be loose, it will be very firm when you bend down. That is the essence of that. So the next thing is to put your actual bust measurement on your chest line, Then you are going to measure your dart allowance and put it back in place and add your seam allowance. Then you connect it into the waist regardless of the first line we drew. So now guys, that is me imputing my hip allowance, my hip length. So I came down by 9 inches from my actual waist length. You go ahead and extend the line, the dart legs, extend them like so. Then put your hip measurement divided by 4 and your seam allowance. Then you connect your waistline to your hip line like so. So now my waist area, I want to extend it by 2 inches. If you pay attention to the style, you will see that it is a bit long. I mean, the upper part is not short around the actual waistline. So I added some more. I extended my waistline by 2 inches, but in order to get a very accurate shape, that was why I did the hip thing. So now you proceed to imputing your basque. I wanted mine to have basque, so ours is straight, but then like I said, alterations, will do some alteration. So now I just went down by 3.5 inches, for my basque. Then you proceed to close your dart legs like so. So that was the reason for extending the line. Then take note of your seam allowance of 1 inch. I use 1 inch as my seam allowance. I like adding seam allowance to the pattern. Then you are going to connect your basque waistline like so. So this is going to make everything coordinated. So now you have to open that line that entered into your shoulder in order to be able to close your bust line. If you did not open the line, you would find it a bit difficult to close your bust dart. So the next thing is to proceed to open up your dart on one side. Then you are going to use the other side to close it up like so. I've gone ahead to use sellotape to close my dart. So now I'm trying to get rid of that sharp corner around my under bust. So I'm using pencil and my ruler to blend it so that it will be a very fine curve rather than sharp. So go ahead to measure your side front like so, and measure your center front as well. After measuring mine, the difference was 0.25 inches. I added it to that point and I connected it to the actual center front. So we should have done this before, which is the armhole. Just go ahead and impute your armhole like so. After imputing your armhole, the next thing to do is to take that is me marking where we are going to cut off. So I want the width of my front to be 5.5 inches. So my measurement on my center front was 3.5 inches. All I needed to add on the side front was 2 more inches to make up for the width of the neck I want. So you are going to connect it from that point into your armhole. So that is going to serve as your new armhole. So we are going to neglect the former armhole. So take the measurement you have from there to your shoulder line. That is going to determine the length of your strap. The next thing is to cut, guys. Pay attention. You see, it is actually curved rather than sharp on the under bust area. So you proceed to cutting like so. And in my own case, like I said earlier, I have added seam allowance. So after closing the bust dart, I had to correct the shape. Just go ahead and cut like so. That is me cutting on my new armhole. Proceed to cutting the dart out, and we have our side front ready. The next thing is to cut our center fronts. There we go with the cuff under bust, and voila, we are done with the front. The next thing is to proceed to cutting our back. So I'm going to be using the same pattern I used for the front. Put your zipper allowance. As you can see, all the lines in the front are already in place on the back. That is our chest line. Put your bust divided by 4 and add your seam allowance. Locate your waistline. Like I said, the waist for the back is whatever your waist on the front is minus 1.5. Put your waist allowance, your seam allowance, and that allowance on your waistline and connect like so. So guys, I forgot to extend my back by 2 inches like I did for the front. So I'm just going to put that extension in form of band. So I'll cut a 2 inches band to make up for my mistake. So I've gone ahead to cut fabric, and then as you can see, I put 1/2 inch of seam allowance, guys, and then here is the band and strap that I will use for the front. So the next thing is the gather. So in my own case, I wanted it to be double tire, and we have this. Stay tuned for the video of how to sew this beautiful piece. See you in my next class. Bye.